cue for the 201st year, and particularly when it's sunny like it is today, the glistening moment that signals the start of Royal Ascot. And even as you look at that, Scott, horses very much to the fore.
They are, and they get a new person in charge this year, Erica Bridge, Colonel Erica Bridge. She's in the King's Suit, first woman to command the King's Suit. 10 years ago, she won the Grand Military Gold Cup over Benson Sandown. She's been the defence attaché in Rome. And she's a force of nature in her own right, but she's given me some special things about these horses, and a lot of them, you know, really keeping the colour. And a lot of them are homebred. And so the King and Queen would know a lot of these horses really quite well. It's a very important thing to them. They're not just a car. They're special.
And I love seeing the trooping of the colour of the weekend. The King feeding one of the horses a carrot, and often at the Royal procession when they come into the paddock here, he'll talk to the riders, almost say thank you to the horses as well. But here they come through those golden gates where the team went earlier on, and now onto this famous straight mile. And Charlotte, who do we have in this first carriage?
So in the first carriage we have the King, the Queen, the Duke of Wellington and the Duchess of Wellington. And you know, it's called the Sport of Kings. It's great to see this King has really taken it to his heart, because the royal patronage here at Ascot is so important, isn't it? We know that they co-own a number of racehorses together. Camilla herself, the Queen, is also a big fan of racing. She's talked about Ascot being the most special week, and she's talked about the excitement of winning. They'll be keeping their fingers crossed, no doubt, for later on when Reaching High could have his moment. And the Duke and Duchess of Wellington, they're among the King and Queen's inner circle. They are frequent guests at state events as well as social ones, and we've seen them in the carriages on a number of occasions here at Royal Ascot.
And Bruff, Charlotte mentioned Reaching High in the Ascot Stakes, trying to make amends when last year got locked in on the rail, absolutely luckless. What chance Reaching High, what chance Royal winner this week?
Well, I mean, that is an absolute banker. It hasn't run since then. They've kept the same handicap mark, so everyone will be going on Reaching High, and I think there will be a huge royal plunge, and big Angus will win.
Or will it be hats in the air? We will see. 5 o'clock this afternoon. There's a familiar face on the left there, the Princess Royal, Charlotte.
Yes, so in the second carriage we have the Princess Royal, Mr. Peter Phillips, Mrs. Peter Phillips and Sir Ben Elliot. And of course we had the recent royal wedding, didn't we? So Mr. Peter Phillips and Mrs. Peter Phillips marrying recently. They no doubt have been celebrating, but have made it back in time.
We felt sorry for ourselves on their wedding day, because we were at the Derby where the weather was horrific, and you fell for people getting married that day. I mean, they got married in a storm.
You've got to embrace it. They did have some wonderful photos with umbrellas, didn't they? And of course the King and Queen catching that helicopter trip to make it in time to Epsom, which was really special actually, wasn't it? The Princess Royal, we know, loves her racing and her horses. She's got a long connection with the horse world, and also Sir Ben Elliot there as well. That's Camilla's nephew, so he's a businessman and a former co-chairman of the Conservative Party.
Princess Royal will be looking very closely at the horses. You worked as her chairman, didn't you, for a while with the Injured Jockeys Fund?
Yes, for a long while, and she was terrific, because I tell you what she can do. She can walk in and address a company about a subject which you wouldn't think she'd really know about, really concisely. She can do that great thing, summing things up. Very important.
As a trustee, you need to do your homework. That's for sure. As we go to carriage 3, Charlotte.
And in the third carriage we have the Duke of Gloucester, the Duchess of Gloucester, Mr. Gus Christie and Miss Danielle Denise. And the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, they're both full-time working members of the royal family. They were there with the royal family watching the fly past at the Trooping the Colour at the weekend. And the Duchess of Gloucester was made a Royal Lady Companion of the most noble order of the Garter a couple of years ago. Very prestigious. And the Duke was the late Queen's cousin, so the youngest grandchild of George V. And just to say, Miss Danielle Denise is an opera singer, and Mr. Gus Christie is third-generation owner of Glyndebourne Opera House.
That's right, she is an opera star, she really is. Right, we need to be quick on
opera star
for Charlotte, because we've got a special guest here to speak to us.
Wonderful. Fourth carriage, Mr. Matt Ramsden, Mrs. Matt Ramsden, Mr. Luke Irwin and Mrs. Luke Irwin. And just to say, so Mrs. Matt Ramsden is the head of talent at the Queen's Reading Room. This is the Queen's charity dedicated to celebrating and promoting reading. And Mrs. Luke Irwin is Alice Elliot, so the daughter of Annabel Elliot, who is the Queen's sister. The Irwins frequently attend high-profile royal events.
Yeah, and Luke's father, actually, Jonathan, was the CEO of Goffs. I think he created the Goffs million. Let's see who our special guest is with Richie. Well, it's lovely to come down by the winning post, Ed, because everyone's here getting ready to see the royal procession. And I was just standing here, and all of a sudden, one of the most famous faces in the country just came along to watch a little bit of the royal procession. It's Dame Mary, very lovely to see you. You were just telling me that it's been a while since you've been to Royal Ascot.
It is, but what a brilliant day to come. It's the first day of Royal Ascot, and everything is in perfect condition. It's very exciting, and we're just waiting for the King and Queen to go by.
And you were also at Epsom. Very different weather for the Derby. At least that's better news today.
It certainly is, but how brave our King and Queen were at the Derby. But they must be, well, they only live just down the road, don't they? So they'll be coming very soon.
Well, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I've just got one other special guest I'm going to say a very quick hello to. And you may recognise this very famous face.
No.
Oh, what a legend, Mary. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for being here today. Just tell me about your enjoying of racing. How did that come about? And tell me about that.
Well, it's a short story.
Mary Ann, the woman lineless footballer, goalkeeper.
I feel like this is a bit full circle in the sense of I lived in Bracknell when I played for Reading, and my dad always said you have to do the races because it's such an amazing day out, and he did it when he was younger. And then I got this invitation. I thought, you know what, why not? And it feels it's a beautiful day, and it feels very British, and yeah, I'm excited. My first time ever. So the racing story is very short. So yeah.
Well, I'll let you go. Have a lovely day, and thank you for the surprise visit.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we have got incredible excitement down here on the Heath. We have got 8 primary schools, nearly 400 children. The King and Queen have just gone past. This is very exciting, isn't it? Got Sienna and Eloise here. What's been your favourite part of the day so far?
I've really enjoyed the VO headset and also having loads of fun with my friends.
Excellent. And yourself?
I've enjoyed being out of school and having a picnic outdoors for a change.
Brilliant. Love it, love it. Jojo, my darling, how exciting was it to see the King and Queen?
It was really exciting and I loved their outfits and everything.
It's great outfits, wasn't it? Very nice indeed. And outfit, is that so the whole school, literally the entire school is here and you've all got the day off. This is good news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're loving it, we're loving it. Honestly, it's such a special day here. All the kids are going to remember it for the rest of their life. I mean, that is just wonderful, isn't it? Next couple of days, around 500 kids from local schools, connecting with the local community, everyone from Mary Earps, from Bracknell, I didn't know that. Hopefully she's going to be converted and love her racing and getting all those kids in. Isn't that
It's
great?
quite something, isn't it? And I always love speaking to people when it's their first time at Royal Ascot, or whether they've been here for a number of years. You know, every year it's got something different to offer, and it's so magical. And just to see the smiles on those children's faces, how excited were they? Because you can see the King and Queen so close as they pass by. It's such a special experience.
They're passing the Windsor enclosure at the moment. 3 enclosures in operation for the first couple of days, and then the village joins the party on Thursday. And as Fliss Barnard was saying this week, every enclosure is its own event. If you're in the Windsor enclosure, you feel like you've got a proper event there. Likewise the Queen Anne, likewise the Royal enclosure. Each events in themselves. And plenty of changes in the Windsor enclosure, more shelter, more seats this year after feedback, and likewise in the village. As the Royal Party will approach. As soon as they're level with the Royal Box, it'll be time for the national anthem. Sadness this year is we've lost the former chairman and Her Majesty's representative here at Ascot for so many years, Johnny Weatherby, who died in December. He actually had a memorial service in London last week, Bruff. It was the most extraordinary send-off. The Great Hall of Lincoln's Inn absolutely packed. I'm so honoured. I actually was asked by Sophie to read a poem written by Henry Burkles. And our thoughts with Sophie and the family this week. And the kids spoke brilliantly. Izzy, And Max and Jack got up and spoke about their dad. I mean, how difficult that must have been. Boys, you were absolutely brilliant, and Johnny will be much missed this week. As the royal party make their way through the two sets of tunnels, and then into this paddock where you can just feel that little bustle, can't you, of excitement when they arrive.
You can see it, can't you? The camera phones are out, everyone's necks are craned, wanting to catch a glimpse. And just look at all the colours of the hats and the outfits that everyone's wearing. It really does make such a huge difference, those splashes of colour.
This year's 50 years as we see the King, of the King's Trust, founded in 1976, giving young people opportunities. Every young person should have the chance to succeed is the motto. And some of those youngsters are working here at Ascot this week to celebrate 50 years, and you'll be out and about. I'm sure you'll meet us.
Sure, we'll be meeting them.
There's so much to see this year as we get our first glimpse on this hallowed turf, the paddock at Royal Ascot of the Royal Party, the Star Royal Ascot 2026. And a royal winner is what you always want, isn't it? I remember in 2023 it was lift-off time when Desert Hero won for King Charles and Queen Camilla, and that was after they got 3 cheers in the paddock that day. Just imagine if we
How
could get
sensational
lift-off.
it would be. One of the horses is making himself prepared.
3 cheers on day 1, there we go.
That's a good start, isn't it? And I was reading about reaching high. Making History is the first racehorse owned by the King and Queen trained in Ireland, and Willie Mullins in an interview had talked about being introduced to the King and Queen at Ascot and then getting a phone call saying, by the way, can you have one of their horses? How amazing is that?
The King was pointing at the ITV podium as he came past. There they are. Here's the Princess Royal coming past our position. Now they'll draw up outside the new look weighing room. We'll show you that later this week. Oh my goodness me.
Transformed.
Other sports will have a look at that. It is properly world class for the male and the female jockeys. And they will park up outside the new look weighing room. And they will be met, as always, by Sir Francis Brooke, the chairman and His Majesty's representative. Steeped in racing as an owner and breeder himself, likewise with Lady Brooke, Catherine, his wife. And Sir Francis will be there to bid. There he is. Tuesday's races is something new again. Not only is the racing brilliant today, but it's Royal Ascot back in business. Fabulous. Lucky people here today. Sir Francis meets the King.
And what a wonderful contrast to Derby Day. The Queen arrived on Derby Day, a completely different weather pattern.
You have to feel sorry for the Jockey Club at Epsom now when they look at this. Here is the receiving line on day 1. Harry Morley, a familiar face on the far side. There's Lady Selina Carter in the yellow. Both of those two, again, steeped in racing. Harry's dad, David, won the Gold Cup with Sir Eric, and then they will meet Fliss. Felicity Barnard, the Chief Executive Officer here. What a job she is doing. You might have heard her interviews this week. She has that amazing blend, radiating both calm and authority. She sets the tone, wants everyone to enjoy the joy of Royal Ascot. And Chris Stickles, the clerk of the course here, done the job for 20 years, and the place and the track, as we saw earlier, looks fantastic. The Royal Party is here. Charlotte Bruff, thanks very much indeed. First up, it's going to be the Queen Anne. And last year, a fairy tale success for a young Newmarket trainer.